Are you tired of synthetic oral care products that leave a bad taste in your mouth? Get ready for a truly mouth-watering experience in oral hygiene. Puneet Nanda, known as Dr. Fresh, is here to clean up the mess in your dental routine. From oil pulling to intuitive mouthwashes, Puneet brings centuries-old Ayurvedic practices into the 21st century, making them accessible and effective for everyone. In this jaw-dropping episode, you'll sink your teeth into how oil pulling can dramatically improve your oral health, the truth about harmful ingredients in common dental products, innovative natural solutions, whiter teeth, and fresher breath, and the surprising connection between oral health and overall wellness. Get ready to brush up on oral care, knowledge, and floss away your doubts. Tune in to unlock the secrets of natural oral care with Puneet Nanda, the guru behind Guru Nanda. It's an episode you can really sink your teeth into. Welcome to Talk Commerce, the podcast where we unpack the world of e-commerce and online marketing. I'm Brent Peterson, and each week we bring you the latest insights and strategies to help your business thrive online. Talk Commerce is produced and supported by ContentBasis.io. This podcast is my creative outlet and has been going now for 3 years. We are approaching 1,000 downloads every week and growing. If you are new to this podcast, give it a listen or check out the fantastic content on our website. From exploring effective marketing tactics to dissecting the trends shaping the digital marketplace, we've got you covered, and we're here to guide you through the ever-evolving landscape of e-commerce. But we're not just here to talk, we're here to engage. Got thoughts, questions, or you want to hear a really funny joke? I'd love to hear from you. Email me at brent@talkcommerce.com and let's keep the conversation going. Ready to boost your online presence? Tune in and stay ahead of the curve with Talk Commerce. Don't forget to subscribe for the full experience and share your feedback.
You're listening to Talk Commerce. Subscribe and download at talk-commerce.com.
Welcome to this episode of Talk Commerce. Today I have Puneet Nanda. He is Dr. Fresh. Sorry, Puneet. Go ahead, do an introduction for yourself. Tell us your day-to-day role and one of your passions in life.
So I am Puneet Nanda. That's at least my TikTok handle. I am Puneet Nanda, but most people know me as Dr. Fresh. It's been my nickname since my school days, and I am currently running a company called Guru Nanda. So Guru is teacher, Nanda is my last name, which is Puneet Nanda. And the reason I say teacher Nanda, it was actually the name of my yoga studio that ended up becoming the name of my current business. And the idea was to teach people how to be the guru of their own wellness. I'm not saying I'm a guru. I want to teach people as a teacher how to be the guru of your own wellness by introducing natural products in your life, by going away from everything synthetic, by taking care of your mental and physical health, and by ensuring to be being more mindful in everything you put inside your body or on your body.
That's great. And passion? Do you have a passion in life besides what you're doing for work?
So literally the biggest passion lately has been making TikToks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I could do TikToks. I could make TikToks 7 days a week, 365 days, and not feel like I'm working. So I found that I should have been an actor rather than uh, being in business, probably in my next life, maybe.
Yeah, and I have watched your TikTok videos, and they are very entertaining. Yes, thank you. Okay, so speaking of TikTok, I do have a thing called the Free Joke Project, and it's on TikTok. I'm just going to tell you a joke. All you have to do is tell me or give me a rating 1 through 5 on the joke. So here we go.
Okay, I'll try my best.
Why should you never brush your teeth with your left hand? Because a toothbrush works better. What do you think? 2?
You.
All right, that's fair. Yes, that is a good representation of the quality of my jokes. Probably why I don't have that many
No,
as
I'm
many
I'm
TikTok.
I'm sorry if maybe it's my IQ is low because of using too much fluoride, I guess.
I don't think so. I
When
think
I
it's
was
my
young.
jokes.
When I
Definitely
was
my
young.
jokes. So tell us a little bit about Guru Nanda. This is a commerce. At the heart of it, we have a lot of people that are in commerce and selling online and marketing. And tell us a little bit about your product and your background and how you got started.
So I am originally from New Delhi, India, and I went to study medicine in Russia. I came to United States, started my own business because I did not want to go through all the studies back again because overseas studies don't mean anything in the United States. I started a business and it was called Dr. Fresh. The brands became pretty decent size, but I also became pretty big. I started living the American lifestyle because I kind of was trying to become American by eating fast food every day, gulping in a lot of big glass sodas, and before I knew I was 50 pounds heavier than what I am today. Plus I was gulping in 14 pills a day, and one day I realized that enough is enough because I had a little warning sign where I literally thought I had a heart attack, and it was just a nervous breakdown, but that gave me a jolt to the inner self. And I was in my late 30s at that time, and I said, I'm done. I sold that company. I went back to my roots in India. I learned yoga, learned Ayurveda, which helped me connect the ancient Indian wisdom to the medicine that I learned and kind of connect the two. And after learning yoga and becoming a trained teacher in yoga, I said, okay, I'm going to open up a yoga studio in Beverly Hills area. I did that. Jay Leno called me on just Jay Leno Garage, and we did a lot of fun projects. That's where actually I gained popularity, and essential oils was one of the category that I saw a lot of women using them from doTERRA and Young Living, which were the high quality essential oils, but they were extremely high priced. And these women were all working class, and they were like, we want the real deal because most of the stuff being sold on Amazon from fictitious companies from China and from India are selling fragrances as essential oils, and the good quality ones are so expensive, like 10, 20 times more expensive than they should be. So I said, okay, my inner entrepreneurship came back, and I started making Guru Nanda essential oils. Before I knew, I got a call from Walmart. I put them in Walmart. I told Walmart I'll only put them in Walmart if you put them in the pharmacy section because I don't want to be associated with all the garbage in the air care area because they sell candles and a lot of fragrance stuff there. So we were in the pharmacy section, and before I knew, it just took off. Once my non-compete ended in in oral care, I returned back to my roots, which I've done for 30 years. My family had been in this business. My family has manufactured practically every major brand you can imagine at one point or the other. As a contract manufacturer, I knew this business growing up. So I said, okay, I'm going to merge the ancient wisdom of Ayurveda that I've learned. So I bought in oil pulling, which was a very, very unique product to American market. Everybody thought I'm a fool. Actually, I met two of the top entrepreneurs. I can't name them because I talked them in confidence. These are like names you would know. And I consulted with them, and they both thought I'm a fool to focus my attention on oil pulling. They said just go for the bigger market, which is mouthwash. Don't waste your time in oil pulling. Nobody in America is going to do oil pulling. But I was very, very, very firm in my thought process because I knew oil pulling is so effective because it had helped me personally save my tooth. And it has lipid profile. I understood the reason of its being. And I said, I'm going to continue focusing on that. Maybe I'll waste this life, and maybe somebody else, once I'm gone, would still continue. And maybe 2, 3 lives later, this would become a big deal in America. I didn't know that TikTok would come into play, and some lady out of some trailer park would talk about it, and it would become viral, and then all of a sudden everything would just fall in place. I go and start answering questions, and before I knew, I became a sensation on TikTok, and today I'm one of the top 10 producers of TikTok as a commercial uh, product producer, product seller, reseller on TikTok, and it's been a unbelievable ride since last 2 years.
Wow. So I want a couple things I want to just key in on. So first thing you said, or you mentioned oil pulling. Explain what that is and to explain why it's a benefit for us.
So oil pulling is basically, it's like a mouthwash, simple words, but you have to do it for a little bit extended period of time. And instead of using water, you're using lipid. Lipid means oil. Now, it's not the oil like the oil in which, like what you use in a gas or something. So basically, we have produced a very, very unique version of oil pulling. So we take fractions of coconut oil that are the most useful. Coconut oil otherwise solidifies. But most people in America, what they were doing is they were taking a scoop of coconut oil, putting in their mouth, do it for 10 days, and then complain of jaw pain, complain that their drains are getting clogged, complain that they're starting to get temple headaches, complain with all sorts of things, and then they'll stop. There was no compliance. But they would say that it does whiten your teeth and it does help with your gums and your sensitivity and your other things, but they won't do it because it causes other side effects. So I said, okay, I'm going to help you out. We took the fractions of oil, coconut oil, that are always liquid. We added in essential oils, the 7 key essential oils that take care of your holistic health. So, peppermint oil, spearmint oil, cardamom oil, these are known to freshen your breath. You know that. Peppermint oil is used in a good old days, it was used in every toothpaste. Nowadays, a lot of toothpaste that you buy, they're using petrochemical based peppermint, and they call it peppermint, but it's actually not the real peppermint from the farm. They are basically giving you peppermint, which is probably made in NHU in China or Bayer or one of these big conglomerate factory. So that's not real peppermint. But we use everything farm to bottle peppermint. So now that said, we also add fennel oil, which has been known to stimulate the salivary glands. We use tea tree, oregano, which are known as natural antiseptic, natural antibiotics in this world. And then we also have some vitamins like vitamin K2, vitamin D3, and E. E takes care of your oral mucosa. D3 is known for bone health, and K2 ensures that the calcium doesn't stick to the teeth, so you don't get the calculus or so-called stickiness, sliminess around your teeth. Now, that sliminess is biofilms. So, what are these biofilms? These biofilms are dead bacteria, protein, and all that stuff that the bacteria use as a shield to stay behind so that they it's like their shelter, their igloo, their home. So like every human, first they build their own hut. That's how bacteria do. They build their own hut, which is biofilm. So what these biofilm on top of biofilm on top of biofilm become plaque, and plaque on top of plaque on top of plaque becomes tartar. So a lot of people you see, they have bleeding gums, or they have this kind of layer of yellow stickiness in their mouth. You can't even go near them. They're smelling so bad. They're chewing tobacco, they're smoking, they're doing other kind of stuff. So these are the people who got tartar, and that only can be removed from a dentist, because you have to literally drill to take it out. It's so strong. It's stronger literally than anything you can imagine. And all these bad bacteria are hiding behind it. So what oil pulling does is, if you're actually using it as a part of a healthy regimen, which I promote, you oil pull, you loosen up those sticky biofilms, and once you loosen them up and you use a butter on gums toothbrush, which is very, very soft, but it has got extra bristles, so that softness doesn't mean that it wouldn't clean. It would clean equally as effective as a regular brush. We've just got ADA approved, and it still will get all those biofilms off. So once those biofilms are off, you tongue scrape, because a lot of the gunk is on your tongue, not just on your gums. So most of the people, they do half cleaning when they just clean their teeth, because the gunk or the plaque that's sticking on their tongue comes back. So all of a sudden, you're back to where you started, or at least that one half is left, that becomes one fourth on tongue, one fourth on the gums back again. So where you started, you're not really fresh. You're like three-fourths fresh. So that said, then we tell people to water floss and water floss both, because once you floss, you actually dislodge the biofilm that is between the teeth. But then when you use the water floss, you flush it out. So I think water flossing is another thing that everybody absolutely needs to do. Now, water flossers used to be very expensive because Waterpick was the only product of choice back in the day. It used to be $100+, and even me, who could afford it, used to think 10 times before I have to buy a new one. Now we've made it very accessible. $15 to $20, you get a water flosser, you're done. And then after that, we have a rinse. We have two kind of rinses. We have a concentrated rinse that you put a few drops either in the water flosser or in a little cup that comes with it. Add water, swish with it. No artificial preservative, no artificial colors, no artificial um, uh, uh, no artificial colors, no artificial flavors. So everything is made pure. That's farm to bottle ingredients. That's what we try to use. Except the emulsifiers, which are important. Whenever you mix water and oil, you have to use emulsifier. That said, it also saves 10 bottles plastic, because that little bottle of mouthwash, concentrated mouthwash, convert into 10 bottles of a regular 16-ounce bottle of mouthwash. Most people, they don't realize when they're hulling those 10 bottles, there's a lot of transport involved. There's a lot of carbon credits. They are actually saving the world. Now, that said, we also have a dual chamber mouthwash. One side is hydrogen peroxide, other side is baking soda, essential oils, and xylitol. When the two mix together, you get the burst of that bubbles that go and clean up all the stains on your teeth. So that, because what is hydrogen peroxide? It's the water you drink, the oxygen you breathe. It's H2O2. So that the breaks when you mix baking soda with it, pH becomes neutral, so you don't get that sensitivity. And now you got whitening without sensitivity. And we have claims on it because we have done some studies and we've proven it. It's on the website, gurunanda.com. So we're doing science-backed things in a natural way. So we're trying to marry nature with science together, do some clinicals, bring it to the public, not add unnecessary cosmetics. For example, most mouthwash and toothpaste that you see, the first thing you see is color. I see young kids using a toothpaste, blue, dark red color toothpaste, spitting and feeling happy about it. Oh my God, you're putting in kids' mouth at 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years of age, you're putting in their mouth a color that is banned already in Europe. It's still not banned in US. You're putting a color for what reason? Just for cosmetics. What is the use of color? Absolutely should be abolished. So that is what makes me very upset, that there is no regulation. People are just doing everything just because there is no, this is the Wall Street way or highway. So and people like me, whenever they come, either people get bought out or they get squashed because they lump you up with so many lawsuits that finally you just fade away, or you sell to them, you chicken out, something or the other like that. They do it all the time. This is how the big players play. That's why if you look at the big map, there's only 10 or 12 companies that control everything around you in a big superstore. This is like jungle, literally like jungle. The big fish eat the small fish. The small fish eat the even smaller fish. And the crocodile eats them all.
I did, like I said, have a chance to look at your TikTok channel, and I did enjoy it, and a lot of things that you said, I like the way you've presented the mouthwash where you put out the peroxide and the baking soda, and then you had your solution. I also learned something. I don't brush my tooth or my tongue often, but it makes sense that you should scrape your tongue rather than brush your tongue. Tell us a little bit about how TikTok has helped you as a business.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And are you using
I will
TikTok
tell you,
shops?
TikTok has given me a loudspeaker. So the algorithm of TikTok is if you like health, TikTok will show you health. If you like porn, TikTok will show you similar stuff. If you like food, TikTok will show you food. If you see like dances, TikTok will show you dances. So it's an algorithm that is so well built. It's unbelievable. It's to the fault that it could be at time questionable, but I would tell you one thing: I it has helped me quite a bit because I love to talk about health and I love to look at healthy stuff. So it's given me the voice that I have to the audience that is looking to hear that voice. So it has connected me. I started off as a nobody, like who wants to follow a bald guy in is you know over 50. But for some reason, I found a diehard following, to the point where I get shocked myself. I said, okay, I'm in San Diego for about half hour between this and this, and outside the convention center. I'd love to see if there are any followers in San Diego. And before I knew, I got 38 people show up. So I took them all to the Starbucks. But that's the kind of love you see on TikTok. I've never seen it anywhere. I was in Facebook and Instagram. I was on other platforms before, but the way TikTok has, I don't know. It's somehow their algorithm or something about the whole community on TikTok. It's the people, poor people's diamond. And I've seen people on Instagram are very rich people. All they do is like believe in all fake stuff. Like everything is kind of a little bit fake. Versus on TikTok, it's everything is real. Real. This is real world. And these are people who are underserved. And my whole mission when I started the company was to serve the underserved, to basically bridge the gap not just between the served and underserved, between East and West, between ancient wisdom and Ayurveda and modern science. So it was all about bridging the gap. And that's why you look at my name and says, I'm Puneet Nanda, Bridge the Gap. So that resonates really well with the TikTok audience. And I've had nothing but success on TikTok.
I know that in India, TikTok is banned. Do you have a backup plan in case at some point the U.S. government decides that TikTok is not acceptable to
I
the U.S.
know,
market?
number one, I trust and believe in US democracy. And I don't think TikTok would be banned, but you never know. Like the way things are always changing and dynamism and the polarity in right and left and everything. It's dividing our nation because I've seen a divide in other parts of the world, like between haves and have-nots, between color, between religion. In America, I've seen something very unique. It's the right and the red and the blue. That's what is dividing the nation. So you never know tomorrow. I agree with you. So, but if TikTok does get banned, I did open up an account on Instagram. It's the same name. I'm Puneet Nanda. I did open up an account on YouTube. I'm Puneet Nanda, but it's not as successful. Instagram is slightly is becoming, since they came out with Reels, it's starting to pick up a little bit. But I still think they, they are still a long way to go. I know YouTube came up with Shorts, but I think nothing is close to TikTok yet. Do I have a secondary plan? I really don't at this point. But I also believe in America. I'm a diehard believer that the U.S. legal system will not let one party or one person dictate how people want it. And even if they do for a limited point, it will come back. So I believe in US 100%. That's why I left the rest of the world to come to US.
Are you primarily concentrating your efforts in selling in the United States, or do you have
At
markets
this
in
point,
India?
yeah. No, I'm 99.9% of the sales at this point, or 99% are in US. Maybe 1 point in UK or Canada, or like here and there, Timbuktu, I don't know. But mostly it's the US. We're very focused on US. We're a US manufacturing company. We're US based in Los Angeles, and we currently are catering to the US people. Do I have a plan to go overseas? Yes. Where mostly I'll start with English speaking countries, which are easier to deal with, like Canada, like UK, like Australia. And then later on, maybe at one point to China, maybe at one point to India. I don't know whether India or China are ready for us, but because um, there's a yet a lot of education required in certain some of those countries like China. They're already making my life sometimes hell by bringing in so many dupes here in US, and with the current administration not helping you at all. Like the regulations are so bad, like there's that courts are not taking any decisions. They are there. If you go to Amazon and type Guru Nanda, you'll find 25 people dupes selling, and I've gone to every court of law and nothing is happening. So I'm very, 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 very ashamed at this point on how the legal system is becoming worse and worse by the day. This is not a talk that we should be having, but I'm just telling you my frustration I'm
Yeah.
having every day.
What do you see so you're working on a number of products? Do you have anything that you can hint that maybe come soon, or do you continue to innovate and bring better health to people?
Yes, so we've been. I follow me. I follow me, which means, let's say, I'm just telling you. Let's say if I wanted to have ashwagandha because I felt like I need some calmness in my life, or I need some adaptogenic product. So I go and research that. And once I'm convinced that this is the best, I bring out that product. Similar to that, whatever products you see in my portfolio, 80% of the products are ones that I literally would use or have used or made it for myself or one of my family. And 20% of the products that I make are just because the retailer dictated it and said, hey, can you make this? Can you make this? But literally 8 out of 10 products, I make it for myself. I make it with all my passion and ensure that this would work for me or my family member. And that is why I'm able to do such a good job in bringing the highest quality product at the best quality price. The reason being because of my expertise in supply chain, because of my long term manufacturing prowess that I've gained over the years, manufacturing for most brands, most retail brands as well. I'm using that prowess, including my Ayurvedic knowledge, vitamin supplement knowledge, marrying them, which is very, very unique. I don't know anybody else personally in this entire world that has similar kind of knowledge base that I've been able to gather, because a lot of people that are working with me in my team are people who worked with me for 25, 30 years. So these are people who have clung along with me all these years, and they are nothing but wealth of knowledge. Combined, I would say we have 300, 400 years of knowledge today.
Yeah, Puneet, this has been a extremely fascinating conversation, and we're quickly running out of time. As I kind of close out the podcast, I give my guests a chance to do a shameless plug about anything they want, which means you can promote anything you'd want. Shamelessly, what would you like to plug today?
So I would say if you are looking for four or one thing, let's say you need to get on a guru regimen, which is oil pull, tongue scrape, brush, floss, water floss, rinse. And if you really are young person who really is into dating scene or looking good or modeling or whatever, you can even we do make whitening strips. And everything we do is as clinical and as ancient Ayurveda mixed as possible. GuruNanda.com is our website. And we also sell on TikTok Shop. We sell on Amazon, and a lot of our products are available in Walmart. We're still not in regular other stores except Walmart. We're still gaining distribution one by one. We've got, like, for example, a little oil pulling in CVS, or we've got a few Walgreens and Myers or HEB or Albertsons or Kroger's coming along, but not all of them, a few. But if you want to see our entire range, it's on Walmart, retail stores, Amazon.com, GuruNanda.com. Apart from that, supplements. We do make a couple of amazing supplements. One of them is black seed oil with vitamin D3 and K2, and I recommend it to everybody. Everybody. That is something I take myself. Practically every member in my family takes. And I don't want to get into the details of why vitamin D and black seed are important for you. That could be a long half hour again. So that's another product that I would say. And ashwagandha liquid. Sublingually, whenever you take something right below your tongue and keep it for 20-30 seconds, you bypass your entire first pass system, your digestive tract, and you get the benefit right there and then, like in matter of minutes rather than hours, and your bioabsorption goes up a lot more if you take it this way. And you don't have to take gelatin and all other additives that are there in capsules and gummies. Especially gummy is one thing I with sugar that is growing trend in America. That's 25% of Americans buying those. I am absolutely against gummies with sugar. Absolutely against. So if you're into gummy supplements, make sure they're sugarless.
That's great. Yeah, and I'll make sure I put those on the show notes. And what is your handle on TikTok?
It's at I am Puneet Nanda, which is
Perfect.
IAMPUNEETNANDA.
Perfect. I will make sure I put that as well. Puneet Nanda, Dr. Fresh. It's been such a great, fresh conversation. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Brent Peterson.
Talk Commerce is a production of Content Basis LLC. For more creative content, go to contentbasis.io.